Stephen, today is GCSE results day. We're going to claim you as one of the Midlands today because you actually sat your O-levels, as they were known then. I sat them as well. But you sat them at Uppingham.
Yes, in the East Midlands there, that's in Rutland.
Yes,
yeah.
So what's your memories? And
my memories are I got an unclassified in physics, which was, I mean, they were called O-levels then, and they were, in those days the grades were 1 to 9, and 9 was the utter failure.
Yes.
And if you couldn't even get a 9, you got unclassified. That's because I was asked to describe the EMF in a battery such as a bicycle torch battery. EMF is an
electromotive.
You remember? You know it, exactly.
I did physics, yeah.
There you are then. And I just couldn't remember what it was. And so I drew a bicycle.
Right.
With an inner tyre section, saying inner tyre, you know, little cutaway section, saddle,
yes.
Crossbar, no crossbar if female, and then a torch. This is the torch that contains the battery that the question is about. I mean,
yes.
that was. I mean, it was outrageous impertinence. You've got to complain.
Didn't even get a mark for the diagram.
No, but I would say, and as a serious point, I know what stress people are under for exams these days, much more than I was in my time. I mean, you got a bit of a carpeting. My father wasn't pleased with my physics and maths results, and I had to retake those, and but there wasn't that much stress, But now, at a time when a lot of children are hurting themselves, that they're in pain inside in some way, that it's quite hard for us to understand, and we need to understand in order to stop this pain and this self-harm epidemic, as it's perhaps rightly been called. And the stress, we know about social media stress and bullying and isolation and the horror of feeling unpopular and all these terrible things.
Yes.
But we don't need this in examinations. We want minds to be lively and to believe in themselves.
Yes.
And the idea that you can be a failure at GCSE age is preposterous.
Yeah.
I mean, so many great and remarkable people were not good at exams.
Yes.
And it's never too late to remember how good you are. And the way I put it often is a phrase that I truly believe in. I don't know if it's original, but although so much matters at the time, nothing matters in the end. At the time it feels like, oh gosh, I've let people down, or my parents are disappointed, or I could have done better, and oh, what am I going to do? And but in the end, you will look back and think, actually, that was a good thing. That was fine, and
nobody really cares, do they? When you've got
and it's not a race either. It's unfortunate at schools people have to be roughly the same age, and some people grow underarm hair earlier than others.
Yes.
But it doesn't. That didn't mean anything, but at the time you think, oh, I've got the underarm, he's got underarm, and I'm not going to be a man, and it's funny, but it's also sad, and it's a shame if children are really unhappy about it.
Yes.
They just need, without being cosseted, and just to be reminded that this is just a bureaucratic form-filling exercise. The real education is in what they learn from their friends and from good teachers who inspire them to think for themselves and suddenly see a beauty in something, whether it's numbers or books or poetry or anything. It's but all this pressure is, I think, something that
not good.
No.
Do you know what? The imagery you give and the way you speak, it is just beautiful.
Thank you. Thank you very
Stephen.
much.
It's been really, really nice to talk.